only time they do this job is when a white person touches them. They're the racists.
You're not here to fight injustice. You're here to cause drama.
I am black. I'm not oppressed. I am free.
That's good for you. That's an individual person. What about a systemic issue? Where?
I am black. I do what I want. You have the skills. This is a country where you have the skills. You want to do what you want. You do it. Stop forcing on people to accept that they're oppressed. They are not. I am not oppressed. I am black. Stop making people accept that they're oppressed. You're forcing a rhetoric into your mind, which is not true. That's my point. Okay. Violence is wrong, period. It's not about blacks. Okay. Have you seen any white person coming out and saying white lives matter? No, violence is wrong.
They literally do all the time. Every time there's a Black Lives Matter protest, a white person.
It's a violence problem. You guys are wasting everybody's time.
So she makes a great point. So listen, some people might not like it. Some people might disagree with it, right? But here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. I agree with her, right? I agree with her. Some people might be like, well, what the hell? And don't get me wrong. Racism still exists. Racism most definitely still exists here in America, right? And hell, even Myron said it, right? And I agree with Myron when he made this statement.
Nick, I'll take on Tariq and Umar. We'd absolutely destroy them. We would absolutely destroy them, and we wouldn't even have to get into like any of the IQ stuff. We would just straight debate them on how you are not oppressed as an African American in the United States, or an FBA, foundationally Black American, whatever they want to say. They say all these excuses about why the black man can't get ahead. I'll give you all one stat, all right, just to show you guys how ludicrous these guys are. In 1940, okay, 87% of blacks lived in poverty. By 1960, about 47% of blacks lived in below the poverty line, okay? So a 40% drop. Also, keep in mind, this was before the civil rights era. So racism was at its highest. So please explain to me how you had a 40% drop of blacks living under the under the poverty line, and one of the worst eras to be a black person in the United States. And then you're fast forwarding to 2023, where racism exists. I'm not denying it exists. However, it is not strong enough to keep you back or hold you back from success. No way. But you're telling me people had way more obstacles back then and they were able to not live in poverty? Come on, man, get out of here.
Racism definitely exists here in America. Most definitely exists, right? Most definitely exists. But we have a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters who are so pro-black that they are trying to push a narrative that, you know, the white man is still holding the black man down. That, man, the black man can't get ahead because of the white man. And my only thing is, we have to stop trying to push that narrative now. As black men and as black women, I'm not going to sit up here and say we are oppressed, because we have a lot of avenues and a lot of opportunities, you know, that our brothers and our ancestors did not have back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. Now, we are as free as ever. For myself, you know, I'm working a pretty decent job. I'm about to go ahead and graduate out of grad school, about to get my master's. So, you know, and plenty of doors are opening up for me. So to sit up here and I can't sit up here and say I'm oppressed, right? And so when you have a black person saying that, right? You have a black person telling that white lady that, the white lady sitting over here saying, wow, that's you. I'm telling y'all right now, for a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters, it's not that hard, bro, to excel. It's not that hard to excel. But a lot of people, man, a lot of brothers, you know, that I see saying that stuff tend to be some of your pookies. Let's just be real. Tend to be some of your pookies. Well, man, I can't get ahead, man, because, you know, the white man holding me back. But it's like, brother, you got a felon, right? So you didn't take your life seriously when you were young, right? And see, that's what a lot of people try to tell us back in high school and middle school. Yo, man, look, high school, it really means a lot, right? It really means a lot. I didn't even understand that when I was in high school until now that I'm looking at a lot of people that I went to school with. I look at people that, that I grew up with who have felons, right? Who are felons, who have a criminal past. It's hard for them to get a job today. And they did this stuff back in high school, right? They did this stuff back in high school. But some of them are sitting over here saying, well, you know what? I can't get it, man, because, they don't want the black man to succeed. Listen, right? I get racism definitely exists. And I get, we're going to have some companies, man, that are very discriminatory, most definitely. But to sit over here and say that's most of your companies, no. To sit over here and say that's what you're going to be seeing a whole lot of when you come to America, no, you're not. You're not. We have a lot of opportunities. Most definitely, black folk have a lot of opportunities that we did not have stemming 60-something years ago. And we can sit over here and call me a raccoon.
Oh, man, look on the bright side. You get to hang out here in the field with the real niggas. Ain't you sick of the white man?
You know what I'm sick of? You two blaming the white man for everything. The white man this, the white man that. You'll never get anywhere with that attitude.
Man, that white nigga. That's your master. I don't know that nigga.
All I'm saying is, you stop being a victim, you might be able to better your life on your own.
Sit over here and call me Mr. Tom. We can sit over here and call me Uncle Ruckus. We can call me whatever. But at the end of the day, you are your only enemy. Only you can hold yourself back. That is a fact. Only you can hold yourself back. But we have far too many opportunities, right, to sit over here and say, man, you know what? Hey, I can't get ahead because of this person right here. If you cannot get ahead, it's because of you. That's just a fact. And that's something that we all have to eat. It's called accountability. That's why red pill exists. That's why manosphere exists. You have to take actions into your own hand when it comes down to your life. You can't put your actions you can't leave it into somebody else's hand, right? You can't leave it into somebody else's hands. And a good example, right? Once again, I talk about stereotypes, right? I'm big on stereotypes. You can't go into a job interview as a black man with a long afro that's twisted or dreads or wigs or whatever, man, a lot of us brothers be wearing. We cannot, there's no way you can walk into a company and have all that shit on your head and then sort of expect to get the job. Y'all remember me having a lot of hair in my previous videos, right? I cut it off because when I went to go get a job, I said, you know what, hey, I can increase my chances if I cut my hair off. And most definitely I cut my hair off. Now, once I was able to get into the job, I did see a few brothers, man, who had, colored dreads or whatnot. But hey, guess what? Stereotypes are still true, right? And you don't want to be a part of a negative stereotype, right? So if you can remove yourself from a negative stereotype, do that. And when you're talking about getting a job, hell, even Kevin Samuel said, you black men, cut your hair. That's what you have to do. Black men, cut your hair.
This stream is for black men. Everybody's welcome, in particular, millennials and zennials, okay? Last night, Brother O'Shea Duke Jackson did a show with Steve the Dean Williams and said black men need to cut their hair if they want to work for white people, if they wanted to move up the corporate ladder. And we're going to get into it. When I was an entry-level manager, I hired 16 people. When I was a national account manager, I had 12 direct reports. I've been a pre-IPO stockholder in companies. See, what I'm talking about is a lot of stuff that I never hear guys on YouTube talk about. Entry-level dudes. So I'm going to tell you something. I'm an image consultant and a corporate image consultant, meaning right now I work with companies who have a corporate brand, and that's what sits at the top of anything for a company. Black men, if you want to move up into upper management, you are going to have to cut your dreads. You're going to have to become clean cut and represent the brand. See, a lot of black brothers think this is selling out. No, it's called buying in.
And guess what? Doors will open. He's not saying that just because. So because I said, you know what, hey, I want to have a better opportunity. I want to be able to open up more doors for myself. So I need to look presentable. Guess what? I had to cut my hair off. It's not me sitting over here saying, well, you know what? I have to cut my hair off because we're living in a racist society. Hey, I'm saying, you know what? In order for myself to get a better opportunity as a black man, I have to cut my hair. If I'm going to want to have an opportunity to excel in this company or just excel in life in general, you got to make certain changes. Some will attribute it to racism. Oh, well, they won't allow me to have my hair this way. They won't allow me to have my hair that way. It's a double standard, just the world that we're living in. I get it when you're sitting over here trying to tell sisters who have dreads, right? Oh, well, yeah, you can't work in my company because you have dreads. That's BS, right? That's BS. But if we're being honest, you even have the New York Yankees. I believe, I want to say some years back, their dress code was you couldn't have dreads. Right? Their dress codes was you could not have dreads, which is crazy to me. It's crazy to me, right? But you know what? Hey, you cannot have dreads. That's their policy. So like I said, a lot of your black folk are going to attribute it to racism. And I say it's not racism. But once again, it's just you have to present yourself in a better light. And that's all that is.